Hello, everyone. This is Sean from Barry Digital Media, and I hope you are doing well. A couple days back, I was reviewing some general industries and came to the conclusion that 2025 is going to be all about authenticity and trust. And one of the articles that I had touched upon was this one, The State of Marketing from HubSpot. And I just wanted to review it a little bit more before I just wanted to review it a little bit more. So let's take a look at the first slide here. Looking ahead forward, AI powered marketing is leading to easier, breezier growth. I think that's true, although it's also the competitors are using it as well. So I imagine there's still going to be a lot of friction between the big guys. Introduction. To capture audiences, marketing needs to be intelligent, visual, and brand led. I think brand led is going to continue to be a strong foot in the door, let's say, or a strong arm, because when you train your audience or your customers to recognize you for your brand, that can be very powerful. And I think it'll cut through a lot of the other smaller brands that are out there, or less powerful ones. But also because when everything is being generated by AI, that's going to be harder to create authentic brand content. And so if you are able to get authentic looking brand content, I think it's going to cut through a lot of the competition. Strategy and team trends. The marketing tides are shifting to meet changing expectations for value driven content. Yes, I think so. I mean, I think I don't know. That's a complicated topic. If anything, I think it just goes back to knowing your audience. If you know your audience and know your customer, then market to them. Nothing really has changed there. I think maybe there's just more awareness on values, let's say, and so maybe certain audiences are easier to target now. Content trends. Audience wants to connect with brands that are present where they are. Yeah, I think that's true. Like, if that your base likes to go for coffee regularly, then you might want to target coffee shops. If that your audience it likes to go to concerts a lot, then you might want to target there. Now, I wouldn't necessarily exclude experimental areas. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take another look at this. So, another way to look at content trends is beforehand, everybody was pretty much either on Google or on Facebook. But now there are so many different channels. There's Snapchat, there's Instagram, there's X, there's so many more other channels out there. And some people like to exclusively be on one channel rather than another. So it's about knowing which channel is best for the audience that you're trying to get to. AI trends. Are you there, chatbot? It's me, overwhelmed marketer. Yeah, I mean the chatbots. We're going to see more and more of them. I just looked on Amazon, and they have a new chatbot there. I played around with it a little bit, and it was fine. I guess it was good. It stayed within its margins, let's say. But it did what it was designed to do. I might play around with it more. Closing. Smarter, better, faster, and more human content campaigns ahead. I think that could mean a lot of things, but I think that the more content generated by, yes, humans, and making sure that making it look like AI didn't have anything to do with the content that the consumer is consuming, then you'll probably get better better sales. And you'll probably have more information on your customer as well. And you'll be able to conduct like research on your customers more and potentially understand them more, potentially get more personalized content to them. Now, I went through a couple of these slides, and I could go on and on, but I think these slides here were more useful than others. Top 5 business to business marketing strategies for 2025. Using AI to turn text into multimodal campaigns. B2B marketers can create video demos, product walkthroughs, presentations, and podcasts with the help of generative AI. Yeah, we're just getting started with it. Beforehand, you'd have to go to some sophisticated agency to create all these different presentations. But there's so many AI generative platforms coming out there, where I wouldn't be surprised if a lot more of that can be done in house. But in house, I imagine there are still going to be some agencies out there that know how to use the AI better than most in-house people, but then it's going to grow as well. They're going to integrate AI and be able to make more sophisticated looking ads, more sophisticated looking content, but then also be able to do it faster and more accurately. Automated marketing strategies and execution. Generative AI tools like Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT and AI agents can help business to business marketers plan their social calendars, create case studies, and make content briefs. Yes, the automation, marketing strategy, and execution, that's just going to constantly grow. I think especially inside the paid ads and in email campaigns, that's going to grow pretty exponentially, I think. Creating content that reflects your brand's value. B2B brands are investing in more socially responsible content and sharing more boldly about their missions, visions, and core values. Yes, I don't know, struggle with this one because you can, raise awareness about specific concerns, but at the end of the day, you're trying to find the best solution for you're trying to find the best solution for the customer. And if another solution works better than your solution, even though that maybe there's a slight difference in environmental impact or a slight difference of ethics, many people are going to go towards the solution that works better. When you also, the trouble is when you do focus more on social responsibility, you potentially put your company in greater risk, because many companies only have, I guess all companies only have a small amount of extra resources that they can spend on social responsibility. So, it can and can work. And then the other thing is, if you are, probably the best example is the Bud Light. If you try to go on some social issues, it can backfire pretty substantially. So you got to be careful with that one. Personality-led content creators and authentic engagement. Authenticity remains a top priority in the B2B space, and brands plan to achieve this by sharing individual voices from creators and employees and infusing personalities into their content. Overall, I like this one. If I was an employee at a company that was asking me to do personalized videos, then I might feel like I'm being put on the spot, and it might make me not like being inside the company, being asked to do some of the stuff. But I guess on the flip side to that, if I'm really proud of the company that I'm working for, then I don't think I would have an issue with creating extra content for that company. So this is a tricky one. But yeah, if you're able to inspire your employees to share their voice and be a strong internal marketer for your company, then that would be great. And that you can't really generate by AI, not yet at least. And even if it can be generated by AI, I mean, will the AI have a business portfolio like LinkedIn for those to link into? Um, Probably not. So, I mean, if somebody is, well, I mean, they might, but um, if you have one that was just made up on the spot, then you're, then it would be very easy for your customer to lose interest if there's any sign of like a fakeness to your profile, or if it was just made for the purpose of selling. If you're going to go out and create these videos and these in podcasts just to sell, and you're not really authentic behind it, then it could fail badly. Plus, the other part is your competitors could potentially pick up that content and use it against your own company, like especially inside political campaigns these days. While a speaker is speaking, they might say something that's radical in one direction, but then once the election cycle comes, then that'll be in the competitor's advertisement campaign. Top 5 B2C marketing strategies for 2025. User generated content. Since authenticity is a priority, B2C brands are interested in sourcing and sharing more user generated content. Yes, definitely agree with that. Although I do think that some customers are going to become more wise that you can pay for these kinds of user generated content. But I that the think that the ones that are going to have the greatest impact will probably be the most responsible with their own brand. So I think it'll grow, and it won't. You will have only a couple cases here and there where it backfires. And kind of going back to the social point earlier, sometimes it can actually backfire, but also backfire in the positive. So that's going to be an interesting topic to keep on talking about. Creating content that reflects your brand's values. Yes, although again, the social responsibility, it brings its own risk. So, I mean, unless I was very sure and maybe I had some research to back it up, then I would focus on the solution, or maybe a mix between the brand and the solution rather than the social responsibility, because that can backfire. And if you're not focusing on the solution, then when it comes down to the customer's dollars and cents, then they're going to get the solution that works for them, not the one that makes you feel better. Leveraging AI to turn text into multimodal campaigns. Similarly to B2B brands, B2C brands want to use AI to transform their content for different formats and channels like video, audio, and social. Yep. AI is definitely going to make things easier. Using social media DMs, direct messages for customer service. For B2C marketers, there's an overlap between social media marketing and customer service. Brands want to streamline social services to improve on the customer experience. Yeah, this is actually a kind of surprising one for me. I think one of the best things that has come from online digital media having that presence is just now that everybody's accessible. Like whether or not you're the president of the United States, the big celebrity, the guy down the street, your local councilman, pretty much everybody's accessible in some way or another. So I mean, if you need some customer support and maybe you haven't gotten a response back from the website, you can send a DM to that person or somebody in the one of their employees, and you might be able to get some customer service. So, I mean, probably what that means, besides making sure that channel is open, you may want to, or a business may want to do some social media training with their employees just to ensure that if somebody does reach out to them on social media, that they mostly stick to the talking points, or to refer those people to the appropriate channel. Using AI-powered reporting tools to evaluate the ROI of campaigns. Just going back to number 4 here, using social media DMs, direct messages for customer services, AI will actually probably take care of a lot of that too, and sophisticated AI at that. Using AI-powered reporting tools to evaluate the ROI of campaigns. Like B2B marketers, B2C marketers want to take the heavy lifting out of data analysis off their plate and use AI tools to analyze the ROI of marketing and advertising campaigns. Yes. I mean, I've gone through many times where a client did not quite understand what the data was saying in front of them, and so I would have to break it down for them. But the AI can do that very quickly, while also figuring out some other potential points to mention as well. Although you still need to have the base understanding because the AI can make mistakes. So I'd say, especially as the AI grows in power, 99.9% of the time it'll get it right. But there's just some of that deep knowledge that the AI might not be able to see. Let's just quickly check the next slide here. Biggest challenges marketers have in understanding their target audience. Customers are less challenged. Customers are less trusting with their personal data. Solution. Companies need to be more transparent about how they use customer data and prioritize cybersecurity for all tools and systems that have access to their customer data. Yes, that's going to be an ongoing one. I don't really know the overall effects of that and whether or not it's that relevant to all companies that are out there. But of course, personal data is important in keeping sensitive information private. Poor data quality. So I think this one is a big one. Because yes, you can put in data into a AI, but if you have some dirty data in there, or if some of it's wrong, then you can get results that are completely off. And the trouble is, because we become more reliant upon AI to take care of data analysis, we might not see that error, and that error might go exponentially into problems. It becomes easier. I think it becomes easier to miss mistakes, especially with AI. Now, maybe the AI will implement some sort of double check into that, but that's probably going to be harder and harder unless the AI is integrated in the specific system. So, like, if the AI that you're using to do the analysis is in meta ads specifically, then it's probably designed to recognize it. But if you're transferring the data from like meta ads into Grok, then if some of the information is wrong, then Grok might not be able to pick it up. The solution: the more companies rely on AI, the more and more important their data quality and management becomes. Marketing teams will need to invest in data quality and cleaning workflows. Challenge 3: increased data privacy regulation that reduce access to personal data. So that kind of ties into number 1. First-party data is becoming more valuable to brands as third-party cookies are phased out. As privacy regulations become more strict, own data will be necessary for personalized content. So, I mean, as far as I know, cookies are here to stay. And it seems like they're going to stick around for a while. But I mean, personalized content is going to become more and more sophisticated, and companies are going to want that data, because if they spend $1 million worth of research on, if they spend $1 million of research, but they can use it to generate $50 million of profit, then the math is simple, and people will want to buy that personalized content. Now, whether or not that violates the customer in some sort of way, it's very much in the air. People have different tolerances for the privacy, and different reasons. Some of them very good reasons of why they would want things to be private. So it's going to become very, very interesting. There's maybe there's going to be there's a lot of talk about digital IDs and things like that, but maybe there'll be like a government digital profile where you have to opt in order to sell your personal information. So you opt in for like your home address, you opt in for whether or not you have certain health conditions and whether or not that can be public. Because that goes into another conversation. If healthcare systems know all about your health, then they can potentially recognize that you're going to get cancer much sooner than if you are just doing regular checks. But on the flip side to that, if somebody knows that you're at risk for certain things, then they might use that to slow you down in a certain way. So big conversation. We're probably not going to solve it right now. But yeah, so I think that this PDF so far is pretty good. And it does cover some interesting topics there. If you did find some of this interesting, then I recommend that you go on over to HubSpot and download the PDF yourself. And I hope you found this useful, and I hope you have a good day.